Welcome back to part 2 of the 1 chicken 3 meal challenge. In this video we're going to be making butter chicken with naan bread, rice. It's beautiful curry, so let's see if we can put that together. Remember, we've got 1 chicken, 3 meals, spending no more than £7 or £8, about $10. Let's go. Welcome to Buzzin Bites. My name is Simon and I spent the first 10 years of my adult life working as a chef. After changing careers, I've been lucky enough to eat amazing food all over the globe. Cooking is now my passion in life, and this channel exists to show anyone that you too can make incredible food from around the world quickly, easily, and most importantly, cheaply. It's probably not going to be ultimately authentic. I apologise to any Indian viewers who might be watching this, but it's a really good way of getting really close to that butter chicken flavour with a minimal amount of ingredients, using up the chicken that we've got from yesterday. So if you remember, we had the... Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Please make sure, if you enjoy this video, to like, subscribe, because the more people that subscribe to this channel, the more of these videos I'll be able to make. The channel's not monetized in any way. We're doing this purely for the love of the game. So if you want to learn how to make amazing food from around the world quickly and as cheaply as possible, hit subscribe and we'll keep these videos coming. The chicken tikka which we made, that's been sat in the fridge marinating overnight. We just need some butter, obviously being butter chicken. We're going to slice up half an onion, garlic and ginger paste, some garam masala, some medium curry powder, some tomato passata. It saves some time cooking down chopped tomatoes, that kind of thing. And then we finish that with double cream. Now the first thing we want to do is take the chicken and we want to put it on a tray and put it in a grill. Now obviously if you were doing this authentically, it would go inside a tandoor oven, stick to the sides and will go all charred and nice. The grill is about as close as you're going to get to that. So I'm going to put that chicken onto this tray. I'm going to put it back into put it under the grill, and then we're going to come back and have a look at that when it's done. And then we'll start making the sauce. The great thing about this dish is whilst the chicken is cooking under the grill, you can make the sauce, throw the cooked chicken into the sauce, your rice will be done, you can do naan bread with it, whatever you want, papadums, that kind of stuff. This is just about getting great meals, nice meals from that 1 chicken, and this is meal number 2, and it's butter chicken, Murgh Makhani. Okay, so we're gonna take the chicken out of the yogurt and the chicken tikka paste. You wanna, rather than just tipping it all in, you just want to take the bits of the chicken out. Remember, this is a meal for 1, but if you were wanting to make this for 2, then obviously you could just get some chicken thighs, or if you were cooking for a family, then you probably have 2 chickens anyway. So that's basically all of that. We can leave that all there. So we've got the chicken, that's like a portion for one curry. We're going to stick that under the grill, and then we are going to prepare the onion and everything else. So I'll just stick this under the grill now. We've also got the lime, which we're going to finish off the dish with at the end. We're just going to take, I'm going to use this for the jerk chicken also, so we're just going to take half of this, but we'll do that right at the end. So just sharpen the knife up to start. Okay, and then we're just going to take the onion, slice it in half. I'm just going to peel the onion. Just get rid of some of the skin there. And then, I'm sure you know how to slice an onion, so how to dice an onion. But you've got the root there, and then you've got the end. All you need to do is just slice off the end. Leave the root intact, because it will keep the onion together. And then just slice down without going all the way to the end. So, you know, about more than 3/4 of the way through. So it ends up like this. And then if you slice in this way once, and then simply slice down. And then when you get to the end, you can just slice around the root and then throw away the root. And you've used as much of the onion as possible. So you can just throw away that tiny bit of the root there. Okay, so we're going to leave that now. Everything else is pretty much just ready to go. That's it, that's as far as the preparation goes. We wait for the chicken to be cooked. We'll come back in a minute and we'll start making the sauce. Okay, so I'm sure many of you know how to cook rice, but just in case, to be honest, the microwave packets of rice are genuinely pretty good. But in case you don't, what you need to do is you'll just take the amount of rice that you're going to use, and then you add double the amount of water to the amount of rice, and then a little, we call it a little bit for the pot also. So for example, you should also rinse the rice off as well. So put the rice into a sieve and wash the rice off. For this, I'm not going to bother because I'm just showing you, but if we just take, say, like a portion of rice, so let's say we go half of this cup, so we go half of the cup with rice, and then we go the full cup plus a bit for the water. So that's full cup of water, and then we're going to put a little bit more in, and we call that for the pot. So that's the rice. Obviously, as always, a little bit of seasoning. Take the lid, and I'm going to stick that on the back stove there and just let that gently cook away. Okay, so the pan's getting nice and hot now. Obviously, you need to remember this is a butter chicken, so it's probably going to look like quite a lot of butter, but the first thing you need to do to stop the butter burning is you need to add a little bit of oil. So I'm just going to grab some oil. So we need a little bit of oil. And then we can take our pack of butter, and we do want quite a bit. So we're talking, you know, a good slice like this. Good knob of butter like that. In it goes. And at this point we can go in with the onions. We want to try and sweat the onions off. We call it without colour. So we don't really want the onions to brown. We want the onion to just cook, be translucent. If they start to brown, turn the heat down, no problem. Okay, so we've got a spoon there, and just cook those down. Now we leave those cooking for a few minutes, and then we can go in with the garlic and ginger, and then once that's cooked off a bit, we can go in with the curry powder and the garam masala. Okay, so as you can see, these have been cooking for a few minutes now. You can see they're cooking without colour, so there's no brown or black bits in there, but they're nicely cooked through. We can just keep those going. Obviously, we've still got to add the garlic and ginger paste as well, which again you can either make yourself by crushing garlic and ginger, or you can just get this from any supermarket. I mean, it's crushed garlic and ginger for the sake of these videos. It's a good tablespoon, and then we want to just cook that through as well. So we'll keep that cooking for a good couple of minutes before we go in with our spice mixture. Okay, so that's been cooking for a few minutes now. The smells are absolutely fantastic, and they're just about to get even more amazing. So we want to go in with our garam masala, probably about a good tablespoon and a half. We want to be sort of frying these spices off. They're quite raw. If you were to put these straight into the sauce at the end, they'd be raw and bitter. You want to cook them off, but you do not want to burn them. It's really important. So we've got like a tablespoon of curry powder, maybe a tablespoon and a half of curry powder, and a tablespoon and a half of garam masala. And again, you can see there that we've got no colour there, nothing's burning. If it starts to look like it's starting to go a bit brown, you just take it off the heat or turn the heat down. So what we're almost doing here is we're making almost like a cordial. We're making like a really thick, sort of strong tasting. We can go in with a little bit of salt here as well. Go in with a little bit of salt. You want to try and season at all stages really. Obviously with salt you can add more, but you can't take away, so don't put in too much. You can see you've got like a really thick sort of paste here now. Then we want to take this paste and we want to thin it down with our tomato. So we can go in with our tomato passata. And again, you know, eyeball this. Try to imagine how much curry you're making. If you're using it for 2 people, you're just going to have to use kind of a little bit of common sense, really. I'm not really in the habit of measuring things out, certainly not when it comes to stuff like this. However, you do need to bear in mind that this tomato is going to thicken up, and then once we've added the chicken, we thin it down at the end with cream. That's what brings that. So again, we're making sort of like a cordial, and the cream is like the water to sort of thin it back out again. And then we finish it off with a little bit of lime at the end. Now this is going to, the heat is quite high. I can hear it bubbling away, and we want it to cook for a little while. So obviously the tomatoes are a little bit acidic, so we want to cook that out. So we want to probably go in with a little bit more tomato here. Not too much, just a little bit, and then we want to turn the heat down. And then we can just test that for seasoning as well. It's really good, it's fantastic. Probably needs just a touch more salt. So we're going to let that cook out for a few more minutes. Obviously our rice is cooking away. Our chicken, we can check now and see how that's going on. Okay, so the chicken's still quite a way away. So we want to cook this out, but it's totally fine. The main thing to remember, if the sauce is ready before the chicken, take the sauce off the heat. Let the chicken cook. If you try to add the cream to the sauce too early, the cream's going to split and the sauce is going to be ruined. Okay, so we've got our chicken tikka done, which is going to make up the protein part of the curry. So what we're going to do is just put the chicken pieces. They're fully cooked. You've got some little bits of charred on them as well. Obviously you can keep them cooking longer if you like, or you can turn the heat up higher if you like them a little bit more blackened. So we've put the chicken pieces into this thick curry sauce, and we're going to turn the heat back up just to start that warming through. The rice is perfectly cooked, so we don't need to worry about that. Just going to warm this through. And you can see it's a very thick consistency, and that's where the cream comes in. So you can see the steam starting to come back up. Don't forget, everything in here is already cooked. So I'm just flatten that out so it cooks a little bit quicker. And we will go in with a little bit of the cream. Now we don't need too much of this. It's just to sort of thin it out into a sauce consistency. Probably about that much will do. And then we're going to mix that in. Now if you've got a big appetite, obviously you could probably eat all of that rice plus all of this curry yourself. However, if you were to put some extra rice in, maybe a naan bread, I think this could potentially do 2 people. So we've got the sauce, the chicken, looking fantastic. What we're going to do now is just take a little wedge of the lime. Just a little wedge like this. And then just finish it off with a little bit of lime juice. just to balance out those flavours. Let's give it a little taste. Obviously we want to get the sweet from the cream, we want to get the saltiness, we want to get the spice, we want to get the sour from the lime. All the flavours should balance out perfectly, just as it is, but yeah, that's really good. It's fantastic. Okay, so that's absolutely fine, doesn't need cooking through any more than that. Don't forget, if you keep that cooking, the fats will split from the cream, and it will be unusable basically. So the rice, again, as I said, was already perfect. So we shall just give that another little quick fluff up. You can see the rice is perfect there. And we're going to put that to the side. Now for this, I did use I'm going to save some of that rice because I think there's potentially another portion there. So we're going to save that. I did use a store-bought naan bread, purely because I didn't want to make dough this time and roll it out, but in a future video we will look at making naan breads from scratch. I just wanted to sort of focus on making the actual, you know, getting as much meals out of the chicken as possible. And there we go. We have butter chicken, naan bread, rice. That's our second meal out of the chicken. Tomorrow we're going to look at jerk chicken,